What's your guys' view on women taking the first step?
So I think the Bible gives us a very clear instruction. He who finds, right?
Jesus.
So a woman must be in a position to be found,
Ooh,
right?
position.
And another thing that you need to really get that context of the scripture. He who finds a wife. So you are already a wife before you are found. So the reason it's because you're still women and you're not wives.
Oh, stop. Hello and welcome to yet another spicy episode of In Her Shoes. It's Mazondi here and we are so glad that you could join us today. Listen, today is also a bit different. We have some testosterone in the air. Come on somebody. It's testosterone. Yes, you're correct. We have two gents joining us today and we cannot wait to get into conversation. But first, let's greet. Hello. Introduce yourself.
Hi everybody. I'm Siatemba Siakamela, your host for In Her Shoes, and today I'm excited because we've got testosterone and we're going to ask all the questions we want to ask. I'm your MC, speaker, and coach, and yeah, that's it for me.
Hello, hi. My name is Kamokhelo Meti, and I'm so excited to be here as a guest. And I'm just going to make sure that I don't make the gents lose. No matter what happens, I'm here to represent the gents. I have to represent the gents no matter what.
It's about time some gents were in this building because wow, we've got things to say. Yeah? My name is Butomi Ngwenya and I'm excited to be here. I'm an MC, I'm a singer, I'm a poet. I do a lot of things and I'm excited to be here.
I love it. I feel like we chose the right kind of gents to be part of this one. Today we're speaking about the dating pool as Christians. The girls, we did have a chat about this in our first episode. If you haven't watched it, quickly scroll. First episode on In Her Shoes, we spoke about our relationship statuses and what it's like to be dating in this day and age. But now we said, let the gents speak for themselves because it
was below par.
No, it's below par. The men are not doing this. But now we're here to hear from the gents. But before we move on, let's do a quick check. Status, relationship. It's in a relationship status like a Facebook. It's engaged, complicated, situationship, dating, gents, and Jatemba, because it's been a while since we last did the episode.
Check in Kalanlana because ngiyazi ukuthi ni curious, nithanda nezindaba ninjalo nje. Anyway, I'm still very single.
Oh, there's the very there.
There's levels.
100%.
We spoke about this.
Gents?
I'm also single. I can't really say very single, but I'm single. Because maybe you're single and looking, and maybe I'm on the verge of finding something.
So you're single and what?
And searching.
Oh, come on.
Yes.
Search, my brother, search. I'm not single. I'm in a very happy, committed relationship.
So.
Yay!
So. I love it. Let's speak about, I want to just touch on you, Gam, a little bit, the single but searching. I know that as ladies, we find it hard being found. I don't say finding men because we don't find you guys.
No.
You guys must find us. Actually, let's start there even. Let's take it there before I go into the searching. Do you guys think it's okay for women to be the one taking the lead? Because we were clear about it last time, because we don't want to initiate even in the relationship. What's your guys' view on women taking the first step?
So I think the Bible gives us a very clear instruction. He who finds, right?
Jesus.
So a woman must be in a position to be found.
Ooh,
right?
Position.
And another thing that you need to really get that context of the scripture. He who finds a wife. So you are already a wife before you are found. So the reason it's because you're still women and you're not wives.
Oh, stop.
Questions are very fast.
Okay, I want to go back. You said position.
Yes.
Starting with position before single wife. We'll take position.
Yes.
What do you mean by position?
Position yourself to be found.
How?
So a lot of our sisters, you'll find that they start saying there's no men in church. But it's primarily because they are looking for superheroes, avatars. You know, women have a perfect idea of what kind of men they want, and unfortunately, that man doesn't exist. Is it? Because there's a tendency, especially in this generation, that women want a prayerful man, but he must not be prayerful. Spiritual, but you know, must be a little bit gangstery, but must still be prayerful. You know, must not be too serious. Like,
He must have
what the
raised.
hell do you want?
Yeah.
He must have raised, but be a man of
I
God.
like the fact that he spoke about positioning yourself, you understand? Because now the thing is, if you guys want to be found, that means you must be visible. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you can't be in a position where we can't find you, we can't see you, we can't even
talk to you.
we can't even talk to you, you know. You can't even say hi back, you know. And then at the same time, you want to come back and say, no, there's no guys in church. And then you want to come back and say, no, they don't see us. But I greeted you yesterday. And then you just walked past without even saying a word. You know what I mean? So you guys need to position yourselves. I'm not saying come out there, but I mean, let me just see what, okay, I greeted her, she greeted back. For me, there's like, okay, there could be an interest. You know what I mean? So now if I come to you and I talk to you, obviously the conversation will dictate where it will go. But just be in a position to be found.
Is it also an issue of engagement? You say hello, I say hi. How? Nothing else. So is it also an issue of maybe women aren't receptive?
I think it also depends on the type of guy who's pursuing you. Some of us, if I say hi to you and then you say hi, Jay, you know, for me it's like a challenge. With okay, now she wants me to, you know,
Ask
break down
something
the
else.
walls. Yeah, so I'm like, oh, okay, manje waba hostel ganga, what's in so and then we take it from there. Yeah. But don't just shut me out and then just you won't even give me the time of day to even talk to you and just to say, you know, like this is how I feel, or I'd like to take you out if that's the case. But yeah, I mean, avail yourself more than anything. I'm not saying be, you know.
100%. I hear
Yeah,
you.
but yeah.
And then
But also, it's you say hi, especially Christian girls. You say hi.
Saze Sasha namhlanje.
You say hi, flirty. She already sees a demon.
Red flag.
Tintwa. You know what I'm There's also that element that, especially in a church settings, but if I had to meet you outside church in the mall, probably you'll be more
Receptive,
receiving,
yes.
welcome. But if I meet you at church after church, hi my sister, already brother, or my brother in Christ, you close that door out, and tomorrow you'll say,
there's
the
no
men are
men.
not- there's no men in church.
And when I greet you, doesn't mean I'm going to marry you. I think that's another thing you must understand. Because sometimes we greet you guys and then already when I say, we are going to take baby steps. Because it happens in the church where you greet a woman and then all of a sudden everybody knows which one you are talking to her. I'm like, how can you just relax? You know. So let's take it easy. Let's take it let's take it if we're just outside of church.
Okay.
Yeah, you understand? But obviously, bearing in mind the parameters and everything that come with dating in church. Yeah, but don't.
Okay,
don't
not that
jump
I'm
the
speaking
gun.
for the ladies. But gents, the question I have when you speak around saying hi at church, it could be the setting and the parameter of church and just that whole, you know, the stereotype that it carries with so there may be fears around that as well. So when you sometimes see a bit uptight, it's not because she's really uptight, it's because of the setting and the place that she's at. Like you said, if you came to me at a mall and you'd be like, hey, I'll be like, hey, you know, I'm more relaxed. So yeah, sometimes keep that at the back of your mind as well. But yeah, hi ladies, hi, what did you just say?
He's not
Exactly.
proposing.
Hi, boy, he's just saying hello, naming understanding.
Exactly, but if I don't say hi to you at church, I might never see you anywhere else except
That's
church.
true.
So if you don't say hi back at church, then that thing is done. Because the chances of me meeting you at the mall or anywhere else are very slim.
And what is it that you are fearful of? Because I just need to understand, if I'm just greeting you at church, I mean, we take church as a very safe place, right? And
Yes.
we want to believe that everybody comes there with good intentions. It's not always the case, but that's what we'd like to believe. So when I'm greeting you and I'm saying hi to you, you know, in a church setting, and because of the parameters that you spoke about, what is it that is making you hold back?
Some church stereotypes or now that you come into either a new environment, there's different thinking and thought patterns behind each and every one of us, depending on the exposure and background we come from.
But it's the same abafana emoli. And the mall is the same abafana. Abafana abashinji. Because now, do you know what I'm saying?
Emolini, I might not necessarily be with umamfundisi, ngabefundisi, no mambami, no antbama bangbugile, and my leaders and other people I engage with. So I might be more relaxed.
Yeah, but
that's
then-
all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's right. Personally, I'll say hi anyway.
But doesn't it give an idea of there's a particular reputation
Yes.
or a particular woman you are in church?
Yes,
That you
that
don't
you're
want-
not.
that-
It does. It
which
really, really
speaks
does.
to false character.
It is a false character.
Yes.
It does. It does say that. But again, if it's not informed from a stereotype, Khona abantu abatsheliwe ukuthi abafana, in it depends, guys. I know it sounds like girl bye, but as funny. But abanye, it could just be a pretense mechanism, and then it is exactly that. It's a scam.
I want to go back to he who finds a wife finds a good thing. Good you must be a wife, girl, before you are found, not just a woman. Butomi's words, end quote. Please, can you elaborate on that point? Guti, I must be a wife when I'm being found, not just a girl.
Hush, Carmine.
Did you see my wife?
Hi.
I think we must first put it there that it's not my words, that's the Bible.
Okay.
Jesus.
Let's start
You've
there.
got the backing of
Yes.
the word.
The Bible says he who finds a wife. So by virtue of that statement, already you know that before you are found,
You
you
have to
are
be a
a
wife.
wife. Now that means let's define what is a wife.
Sure.
So that we can understand who must be found.
Sure.
Right? Let's define what is a wife. Number one, and this is according to the book of Butomi.
Okay.
Right? So
I love that because
Yes.
a wife to
Clear.
someone else is something completely different.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. Number one, a wife is she who respects.
Yeah.
Right? So before I find you, then you've got to show some level of respect. Number two, which is very important for me, a wife is someone who believes and loves God, serves God, you know, and that's non-negotiable. If you are not a believer, there's no way you are a wife to me.
Sure.
You don't qualify.
Sure.
Number three, sorry, it's a wife is she who is ambitious. That means she's thinking about the future. She wants to do that. She's very ambitious. For me, that is it. And the fourth one is Basela. Is can she care? Can she raise a family? Can she? You see those signs when you are talking, when you are going on dates. You can see those signs. Can she raise a family? Can this person be a mother to my children?
Sure.
Can this person build a home for me? And
like
that is a
that.
wife. And when I find that, then I can marry.
Come on.
So in my interpretation of the scripture, I think it's a process more than anything, because I don't know, but I have difficulty in believing or knowing that I can just immediately find a wife in someone that I've just met, So I strongly believe that I could find someone, all right, and our journey thereof can lead us to a point where she becomes my wife. And when she becomes my wife, then that's where the Bible comes in. It says, he who finds a wife. So in other words, for me, it's if I find a girlfriend, that's a girlfriend, my brother, sharp, But can she get to a level where you can sit down on your own and say, but you know what? More than anything, I don't want her to remain at girlfriend level, but I want her to become my wife. And then that is why I know when they say, he who finds a wife, finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord, So that's just for me. So for me, there's just a whole lot of dynamics that are involved in what is a wife and so forth, because it's different for
Each
different
person.
people. You know what I mean? Yeah. But for me, I think it's a process, it's a journey more than anything, and it speaks about the final product, where it was your girlfriend, if ever they were your girlfriend, and at the end of the day, you've decided to make her your wife. That means now you have found a wife in that woman. So that's just my interpretation thereof.
Interesting. Let's speak about standards. We spoke about standards as ladies. Hey guys, because our understanding, not our idea. This is not. We are backed by the word.
Yes.
In Butomi's words, Scripture says, "Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church." And when we look at the Christ type of love, it's a sacrificial type of love. It's a lay my life down type of love. And we are feeling that some men in this day and age are not showing that type of love. there's so many vibes.
There are so many vibes. Like he
Are-
said,
yeah.
he said it was, oh, are you single? Single and what? Single and waiting, single and searching, single and talking, because there's talking phases, single and what are the standards?
So yeah,
I agree.
we're struggling with church guys or our gentle brothers in the church are becoming too much like the guys on the streets.
They are watered down.
You know, the way, if we are saying we need a man who loves me like Christ, that's too high. Like, we're getting those responses from guys who be like, yo, girl, relax.
I think the truth of the matter is that if you have found someone that you can love like Christ loved the church, you're going to do that. If you get to a point where someone is treating you, or like you're saying, with no, I know that's too high, whatever. No muntu akekho lapho. That's just a long and
Are
short
you
of
saying
it.
someone who wants to do it will do it? Is that a
Exactly.
conversation? If he
It's
wants to
clear-cut.
love
It's
you,
clear-cut.
He will.
It's clear-cut.
He will.
Is that from an onset, Gamu? Because I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, the dating phases are different.
True.
Hi, can I get your numbers? Sure. We start talking. I don't think it's going to be from an onset point of view.
100%.
Maybe the question that we baffle or we are baffled with as females is, what is it that you guys know? It's okay, I know that she's the one. And why is it that sometimes we feel like you're wasting our times because you dated too long already knowing you are talking to more than one girl at the same time. You actually wanted to get a specific thing, tap and go. There's just many dynamics, because when you sit with married men or men who are pursuing to get married, they all have this inner surety of I know. And I think that's where finding a wife comes into play, because you see the characteristics. I love what both of you said, and I agree with both. It is a process, but also not a process that should there should be glimpses, there should be glimmers. There's a wife in this person. Yeah, so just take us through that process.
For example, what you say is that, do you guys know when you know? And then if you don't know, why do you stay?
Why do you string us along?
Why do you stay in the relationship when you feel like, I'm not sure? Because I
Is
feel
it
like when a man knows, okay, first of all, is a statement true? When a man knows, he knows. Is that true?
That's very true. So I think
I agree with that.
when a man knows, he knows.
Okay.
But, and I'm going to lean more on Kamu's words, it's a process. So there are stages of knowing. There's levels where you know.
Okay.
So when we start, maybe I don't know. I'm unsure.
Exactly.
Maybe that's why there's you, and then I'm also going out with that one. Then I'm, because I'm not sure. But the day I know, then everything else stops. I know this is the one, and all focus will be there. And I will love that person that I know, like Christ loved the church, without any doubt. So it's a journey, but in that journey, I may realize that she's the one. I may realize she's not the one.
True.
Right? And now, when I realize that she's not the one, as a Christian brother, how do I hurt her? How do I say, no, this is not working?
And that's what we want to
You see?
know.
And then the struggle of doing that, I just string her along
Yeah.
until she says, no, I quit. Because as a Christian brother, I can't bring myself to saying, this is not working. Or this is, and then you just string her.
wait until she says she quits.
Yeah, like it's one of the tactics we have as guys. We frustrate you until you quit.
I totally agree with Butomi. Yabo. I'm just going to be vulnerable and honest.
Yes.
I've never been in a situation where I've told a girl that it's over.
Same.
You've
I've
basically
never dumped girls.
but that's
I've
what
never
they
dumped a
do.
girl.
That's what they do.
So, but there are things and there are actions that are going to show you.
But
this guy,
He's not there.
do you understand what I'm saying? Because I don't have the I don't know if I can say the balls, but I don't have the
No, you don't.
to come and say
No, not only to you, Gamu. Please, guys, this is not personal to
Yeah,
Gamu. To every
yeah,
gent
to come and
who
say, you know
sits
what?
and does that to females.
Yeah, and to say
Ukwazi
that,
ukuyomshela,
no, yeah,
have the same guts to go and tell her,
But
ukuthi, babe,
let's go.
akusebenzi.
and another thing, ne? As much as we're talking about this whole thing with okay, we will frustrate you and do all these other things, but I think you also need to understand this thing with when she says not every guy in the church, and you guys also need to be woke. Not every guy in the church is going to come to you because of Funukshata. They're going to come to you because of color. It's the truth. And if you guys don't want the truth, then it's fine. Listen, you can remain naive, and think that each and every guy that is going to come to you is to marry you. And I also need to highlight this thing. As much as you're going to come and say it's the guys who come buy a share and then it's tap and go. Do you understand? Tapping is not one way.
It's two ways.
It's two ways.
It's two ways.
So that means we don't have men of integrity. We don't have women of integrity.
Yes.
We don't have women that speak to sexual morality. We don't have men who speak to sexual morality. So but now, once we've done whatever it is that we wanted to do, if I don't want to carry on now, for whatever reason, maybe because I came just for that, then it's the church, the guys, guys.
120% on what Kamu is saying.
Sure.
The morality standard shouldn't be tipped on one scale.
Exactly.
Yes.
But my thing is, be transparent from the onset.
Yes.
It's going to save everyone the heartbreak. It's going to save you guys from stringing along. If we are okay, brother, you see the curves be doing things. Let's just, how about
Keep
we
it
just
friendly, keep it cute.
Keep it cute,
Don't persuade me and say,
and then
I love
because
that.
any guys, for a fact women are about marriage, clean cut, period, whether she's in or out of the church.
Yes.
So when you're in the church, what
Yes.
that is even quite is magnified. So don't come here when you know
Yes.
you're just
but I
you're
do.
just a wolf in sheep's
That's
clothing.
what I'm saying.
But I do at that
do
point
what?
in
You
time.
want
I
to
do
come for the
care.
slaughter, you do not care. You want to care for the gold that you are coming for. You don't care about
When
me.
you're saying we must be clear cut, are you saying that we must come and tell you what sources in your kalela?
I need to tell yes.
Yeah.
You said tapping is a two-way thing.
In the church.
Ngeke ungitshele esontweni ukuthi ngitshela amasisi
No, but Sharon Sonto, but guys, let's be praying. That's what I'm saying. You guys need to be woke. If that's what you want us to come, we're not going to do that.
No, I mean, I honestly prefer that.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen.
Gamu, I'm not saying say hi, I want to be with you like that. Hi, conversation. So are you with someone? No, I'm not. Are you with someone? Oh, are you looking for a relationship? Oh, I'm not. Okay, I'm not looking for a serious relationship. That already tells me everything. You don't have to break it down. Just tell me you're not looking for a serious relationship.
But what are the chances of me winning if I shoot straight?
Then Butomi, it goes back to what it goes back to.
What are the chances of me
It goes back to
winning?
what I was saying when I said, don't say you didn't care from the start. You didn't care for me from the start. You cared about the goal or whatever it is in me that you wanted from the onset that you knew about that I didn't. Then I fall in love with you. In the process of you wanting whatever the goalpost is. And then once you are done, then you cry and complain when I go around and feel like I've been done wrong. No.
No, because also understand a woman, it's simple. Women love what they hear. Men love what they see. And you guys know this. You guys know if I say the right things,
You know
So my thing is, why, go back to my point, in the church, why nifane labangaphandle? And I said, if need be honest with me.
But
Don't be like them on the outside who will try me and leave me better and
But
broken.
like I said from the beginning, that's why even the Bible says, not everybody that says Lord, Lord.
Bazokunika abanye Gamu.
Listen to what I'm saying. Not everybody that comes and says Lord, Lord.
True.
Will see, heaven and everything like that. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? So, but like I was saying in the beginning, we don't come with the same intentions.
Why and honor those intentions? That's what we're saying.
No. But now remember, because now we're talking about two different groups of people here.
Yes.
We are talking about people who are coming to scam you for sex.
Yes.
Understand? And people who are coming to say, okay, genuinely, September, I think she's a great person. And then we date and we see how that works out. It's fine. But I'm just saying that you must also understand that there's a group of Christian guys who will come to you just looking for sex. And you need to understand that. So if you're going to sit here and complain and say, but why are you guys not being honest with us? They're not going to be honest with you. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. They're going to come to you. And I like what my brother said here. Ute, what are the chances of me winning?
Exactly.
The first thing you said, you spoke about parameters, you spoke about belief systems. Young Khalela, you what do you take me for?
Which is good because I made a conscious decision. You were transparent. I prefer that.
Yeah.
Not for you
Also,
to play with my heart because when you're coming for your goal.
Those who come with the intention of sleeping with you, they won't do that. And that's the reality. But we can sit here and have a conversation about this the whole night. But it's never going to change. Because now, that's where it comes in good way. You must also have a discerning spirit.
True.
A discerning spirit is not only for the guys.
Yeah.
You must also understand that
You are preaching, my brother.
Coming because of something. And I mean, I strongly believe that the one thing that can show you why a guy is there, when I'm in if you can come to a point where you say, you know what, my brother, I hear what you're saying, you want me, right? And you say you want to marry me. You say you love me because I need to. You guys, when you say these things to us, you know that we get on the natural high, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I'm saying to you, have that standard to say, okay, it's fine, my brother. You know what? You and I are going to have sex once we are married, because I need to tell. Let's see how far it can go. Let me tell you, most guys won't even last to that stage because if they came with the intention of just sleeping with you or tapping and going, because remember, a relationship is work. Now I have to take you out. Now I have to spend time with you. I don't want to be spending time with you.
True story.
So play this game.
Yeah. So
string them along. Let's see.
So if you guys can get to a point where you can say, okay, you know what?
Yes.
That's
We're wasting each other's time. I think, babes.
No, but hear what he's saying. Test him.
Yes.
Give it up. For a few months, because he will bound to be like, it's fine, yeah.
Not before you give it up, girls. Just give it up in marriage only.
No, I'm not saying give it up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? String him along because he will reveal himself. Don't be too quick to be like, I'm tired. How about it for 6 months? Because he will get tired. I'm sure he will.
And they can figure now with 3 months.
There's famous words. Actions speak louder than words. Until the actions speak, let's not entertain other things. The problem is with our sisters, now it's an advice. You entertain the words and not the actions.
100%.
And the words will string you along. 100%. And the words are good. Words are very nice. So until the actions speak, don't do anything.
And I think the point that's fun. And by saying that, that's what I'm saying. As men and women in the church.
Okay.
Because, you know why I'm saying fun? That's why I'm saying there are guys going to come to you because they just want to sleep with you and leave, okay? So there's no sexual morality there, I understand. Now we have whom. That means there's no sexual morality on your part. There's guys who don't have integrity. Now we have whom. That means there's no integrity on your part. So the biggest problem we have in the church when it comes to the dating pool between guys and women is that they're fine.
Yeah.
So as much as you want to say yes, the problem is that they're fine. But if one party can just stand up and say, okay, my brother, I hear, let's do this, Marala as feeding. I'm telling you.
I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
I love what he's saying, and it's true. So as much as we were saying, Wuti, the standard for gents is below par in the Christian world, is what you two are saying today.
Yes, 100%.
Because I actually want to jump on that. What are the struggles you guys are facing with us in the church? Because we've mentioned our standards and whatnot. What is your biggest issue with Christian women in the church?
Number one.
You've been waiting.
I've got plenty.
You've been waiting.
Get it over your
Take notes, girls.
I want to start with this one, right? And I'm saying this primarily because I'm a man of God. I preach, I minister the word. It's that women in the church are the first to start the issues of sex.
What do you mean?
Can't judge about all.
Wait, what do you mean?
So you know how it's always known that guys initiate sex and all of that in church? I can tell you right now, Abo sise sontweni ukala bona ke.
Bachela pastor.
Ukala bona ke.
Guys, I'm shook.
One, then they say, but we can't have sex in marriage. What if the sex is not good? You know?
Thank you.
Oh wait, so you're saying that women initiate the conversation?
Yes.
In church. It's the church women.
And
women in church initiate the sex conversation all the time.
Wow.
I tried, and it's very frustrating because you are coming there as a brother. You want to take the holy way, the biblical way, but then your partner, who you want to trust and conquer this with, is the first to initiate it.
I came out
I love what he's saying because it goes back to what I was saying. Siafana.
Have you encountered the same?
Well, I haven't really encountered the same, but what I can tell you that it's not only the guys in the church that have flaws or their standards are below par. It's the same when it comes to girls as well. You understand? You can date a girl. Date umuntu and ubona ngathi right. Jiki seka no Joseph le. And then you're asking yourself, oh, what's you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, it does happen. You know? So for you guys to sit and say, no, it's the gents in church and everything, it's not accurate. Honestly speaking, it's not accurate. That's why I need to see how far this went to it. You know when you talk about the Christian dating pool in the 21st century,
yes.
The problem is that siafana.
Exactly.
Yeah. Whatever I can do, you can do it better. You know, whatever you can do, I can do it better. Siafana. But there's no one who has that integrity. There's no one that has that thing to say, you know what, I'm not going to be like the rest of them. I'm not going to be like these guys. You know.
Let's give them a practical example. We're Christians, we're believers, we're dating. What's up with lingeries? Then you're coming.
Thirst trap.
You see?
Thirst trap. What?
And then if I don't act, then I'm too spiritual.
Oh, you're gay.
But no.
Oh, I'm gay. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So wait, what's the context of seeing these lingeries getaway weekend?
No, if it is not a getaway again, that's even
What's
too
up
extreme.
pictures or
I come to you, I visit you. You're preparing something to eat in a lingerie.
These are some of the things you're dealing with.
You see? And this see, leader of the praise worship team. Exactly.
Guys, no.
And then when we act, then it's a man. It's a guy.
Yeah.
Self-control. They have no these men have no self-control.
But it starts with the ladies. Sure.
Okay, I want to go back to your list. I'm still there.
All right.
That was one.
Two. Our guys, decide. Do you want a loving, always available man, or you want a hard-working man that can provide and bring money?
We want a balance.
Because both, it's a struggle. Choose which one do you want. Because I'm working hard, we have money, we've got everything, but I'm never home. I'm not home because I'm working.
Technology has allowed to bridge that gap. I'm sorry, I'm not going to take that one. Look, you may not be able to be physically with me at home or see me, but there's text.
Don't blue tick me.
Please don't blue tick me. Future, if you're watching, blue tick is not going to be thing here.
If you're busy, you can text. She's right.
Like, if you're working and you're hard, yo, baby, or even do you know what? Just taking a picture of what you're busy with is enough because it tells me you're involving me in your day. You don't have to text anything. You don't have to call me, but just drop things that remind me and make me feel as if I'm a part of your hard day. Because what does that allow me to do on my end? I know how to pray for you. I know how to cover you. I know how to support you. I know how to let me be the one to drive to his place. But if you don't give me that opportunity, you're closing me out.
So let's make it practical. I like practical examples.
100%.
I have a very demanding job that I travel all the time. I'm hardly home. This year alone, the days I've slept in my own place are not more than 5 consecutive.
Sure.
I'm never around.
Sure.
And it's not like I'm going live Blue Hills and I'll be back later on. I'm hardly never here. The texting is there, but it becomes not enough. You are not here physical, because that physical need is very important.
It is.
Right? And even if we talk, we do it, it's gonna be fine. But then you reach a level where no, but he's never here. He's too focused on his career, especially independent, ambitious young men like us, where career becomes a very big thing. You know, of course I love you. Of course I'll communicate. Of course every time I get, I'll be with you. But the truth is, it will not be enough. With women, it's never enough. Right?
So it's decide. It's choose your battles.
It's choose your battles. But I also think, as someone as busy as you, it would be ideal. I know you don't, in case you are but it would be ideal to get a female partner who's as busy with their own vision. So it would be nice for you to get a vision bearer who's running their own things as well, who almost can sympathize and empathize with you. Yo, baby, nam yo, in. By the time you two meet together, you're on the same wavelength, and times together are just always epic because you treasure them that much more. It's just that you may not be partnered with someone as ambitious as you are.
On the flip side, I've actually seen that most ambitious guys want a more homely rooted woman because who raises the kids? If we are both out here hustling, you know. So I've heard men that are like, who told me they prefer a woman who is a teacher, for example, because she will come home and do the work with the kids and whatnot and be able to. I think it goes back to we gotta choose our battles as women. Do you want the provision or do you want the house, the stay-at-home dad?
We do, but we're at a dating stage for
Yeah.
now. But obviously, we have to have those conversations.
Yes.
We can't live like this forever. So Proverbs 31 woman, right? Which most women we are told to ascribe to be a Proverbs 31 woman, and she's such an industrious woman. Any jack of all trades, wara. This helps. I just think as a couple, you just need to find your own synergy and routine and report and schedules, do what needs to be done, create the right support structures. I just believe if you really love each other and you two are sold to each other's vision and doing life together, you two will find a way to make it work.
I want to
Definitely.
ask, is love enough?
Love is
men,
never.
because as women it's not. I think
Ah,
as
it's
women,
not, no.
as men, is love enough?
Love is never
No,
enough.
it's never enough. Can I just to add on before we come to that one, just to add on what he was talking about, like the problems that we have with women in the church.
Yes.
Nah, I think now my biggest problem that I have with women in the church is that you guys settle. That's my biggest problem.
I was number 3.
Something.
Yeah, because you know what happens when you guys are looking for a specific man and you are not finding that man in the church, and then there's a Wotomi and there's a Kamu who's okay, all right, man, you understand? You settle for that. And once you settle for that, because this is life, you must remember, life happens.
Types of chocolate.
Next week Sunday, I'm
What types of like?
yeah. And mangena futhi nawabheka futhi akuthi
Yeah.
Hayi babes bengazi ukuthi asetlisha bedtime. Ngiyadlala bazi.
That's my biggest problem with church women. You guys settle for what is available, because you can't find exactly what you want. And when what you want comes along,
You are preaching, my brother.
yeah, then you get to a point where now all of a sudden, like, hey, now I'm not happy. Hey, now, hey, no.
And I've never said that I'm not happy until I saw my type.
So get to a point where it's do or die.
And you know why they settle? One, then they have pressure to marry.
Yeah.
Apparently, they've got a biological clock
Yeah.
that in this age they must be married. So when the type, exactly, when their type is not acting, and who told me man of God is acting nicely, then they settle. That's why they settle.
So for me also, I don't know whether it's a thing of settling or it's a matter of there's always going to be better, guys. And that's the issue. Wuti, as much as you might say it's settling, but if we are going to keep looking for better, we're not going to get married, or we're not going to, I hate the word settle, we're not going to settle down, because there's always going to be a prettier girl, there's always going to be a smarter guy, there's always going to be a more prayerful guy. But if I feel for me, if he takes the priority in the lists, then settling isn't bad. If he takes the things that I want, there's also going to be someone who's better. But why are we always chasing better?
I love what you're saying. To say that there's always going to be better.
Yeah, why
so
chase?
now that's where maturity comes in.
Yeah.
So now we can say another problem that we have with the girls in the church, they are not mature. So because like you're saying now, you're saying
Shots just are coming one way.
and I love the fact that you know that there's always going to be better. And as guys, we also know that there's always going to be better.
Yeah.
But you need to understand that you need to pick and choose to say, you know what, this one
Ketile,
does not meet
ketile.
the full criteria that I'm looking for, but I can work with this until I die. Because remember, marriage is a lifetime. Yeah, you understand? But it's when you go below par, you got
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
you say-
So we go below.
yeah, but I know that I'm food.
And that's what settling is.
Angifuni,
Mina,
yeah.
I don't
That's
agree
what
with settling.
is. No, Angifuni, but because he's the guy who's available now. And now he's showing interest and he's saying, hey, I'll marry you. And like my brother said now, the biological clock comes into play now. I know, let me go for this guy. and he's below par, and more I'm full. Because the biggest danger that you can ever do is to go into a relationship with someone that you really don't want. I mean, I am just a firm believer. And now this thing about I'll grow to love.
I can't grow to love.
I say it's for me.
I am not a tree.
You know, just to add there, just to add, just to add, Cap. You know, when they start settling, then they even move away from church. Then they go outside church. Zoom change. You know women and they are nurturing and bob the beat and zoom change.
True.
And then Masega anga change, what happens?
Frustration.
You get frustrated
Exactly.
because you settled. You went out of where you were supposed to be. You see?
100%.
And it happens a lot of times.
And
Zoom
settling
change.
leads to cheating, guys.
100%.
One thing that stops me
100%.
from settling is the fact that I do not want to be a cheater.
Yeah.
I'm a cheater. So settling is equivalent to cheating on the spot.
You know, there's a woman who asked me a question, and she said, Kamo, if I want to get married to a billionaire, does that make me a gold digger? And I said to her, whether it makes you a gold digger, platinum digger, or a copper digger, it's fine. You understand? Just as long as you go for what you want. But the biggest problem is that when you can't find that billionaire, and then a Kamu comes along, and then you're like, no, let me settle for Kamu. It's going to frustrate you. Because I'm not really what you're looking for in the beginning. That's why
Exactly.
when you're settling below par, I love the fact you said, you can settle for a guy who will die, man. You know, no so long I want too high. This one I ain't using done in better. You know what I mean? Like this, I can work this. I can work around this. But now, if you get to a point where you're settling below par and you're not finding what you're looking for, and what you're looking for is not coming your way, and then you just settle for it's a problem. And that's the biggest problem I have with the women in church.
Wow.
Nina niya settlela.
And when umlandu babies, up until you get to know her for sure.
And that's
Probably.
the part that hurts the most, because when you go in there with genuine intentions to say, you know what, me, I really love this woman, and I could make her my wife.
Ladies,
And
repent
then,
thing.
and then I wanna with
So,
Can I ask something quickly?
yes.
Because we still, physical attraction when we come to settling as well. Do you prize that? Do you deem it as vanity?
As men.
Yeah, as men and us as women.
Okay. Can I start?
Yeah, you can.
I struggle with prioritizing physical attraction because he can change. I could get sick tomorrow and all the hips are gone that were physically attracting this man to me. So I don't know. I believe in the inner chemistry more than the physical attraction, because anything can change at any time. Namudu could be crippled tomorrow, and I like because he was tall. He's down to here.
Yeah.
Am I still excited about him?
You're stronger than I am, Michael. You are stronger than I am, my girl. So I'm not saying he needs to be TDH, tall, dark, and handsome. Like if he is, it's plus. But I need to have some sort of attraction. My attraction is forget the name, but I'm attracted to the mind. I'm a saposexual.
Touch my mind.
Like once you touch my mind, yes, even if you were not the physical structure or what I prefer in a man, but because you can engage me intellectually or humoristically, then I'm happy. But yes, to me, looks do matter, but the mind matters more.
More.
I am able to make exceptions around
The looks.
attraction. It's not like tall, dark, and handsome. It's a complete no. But it does carry some weight, because I also need to look at my man and be like, look at my man and be like, wants to have that attraction or chemistry.
But sometimes wouldn't his actions grow that thing inside of you?
I don't
Because
know
he's
if
so
I'm a
loving, because he's so attentive, because he's so nurturing. It's like this man,
it's
his
true.
love is attractive.
It's true, because I know sometimes I'm like, why did I even get this person? Then I realized it was never physical. It was actually their
Inside,
characteristics.
yes.
It was maybe a humor or how they carry
100%
conversation.
true.
So
It
does matter. In that
absolutely.
sense.
For you guys?
For me, physical attraction, it matters a lot.
10 out of 10.
It matters.
No exceptions.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like,
So if you're not my type, you're not my type. Like this.
Is it even a type thing or memo?
Let me tell you what happens. Obviously, as a guy, when I come to you, obviously I've just seen you. Right?
Yeah.
That's what makes me come to you, because I saw your physique and everything. And I'm like, okay, no, that's my type, physically. And that is why I would
What
approach
is your
you.
type? For the lady maybe at home who's saying,
Hey now.
Plus, you're single.
Plus you're single. And but you're single and finding. She might slide into the DMs.
That's my type.
She might slide in the DMs.
So physical attraction matters to me, because that's what I'm saying, because when I come to you, it's what I saw in the
Yes.
beginning. Yeah? But I think another level that we should also bring in here is maturity. Because yes, I know that life happens, you know, and I know that you could be crippled tomorrow. I know that you can fall sick and lose weight. So I'm into chubby,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
not chubby, like
I
thick-
get you.
thick, chubby
Bambi.
kind of women.
Oh,
So I understand that tomorrow you can fall sick and lose all the weight and everything. Yeah. And that comes with maturity, to understand that, okay, I'm going to choose this person because today they look like this. So physical attraction does matter. But also understanding that tomorrow things can change.
Yeah.
And I will still stick to my choice and my decision. Because remember, as much as it does matter, there's also a whole lot of other factors that come into play.
Yeah.
Because obviously I'm going to engage with you, I want to talk to you, I'm like, wow, this is a beautiful woman inside out, you know? So tomorrow when she's lost the physique, I can't say, imagine, you're no longer my type, you understand? Yeah. So it does matter to me, but I think you also have to put in maturity that comes with it, to say, you know what, it won't always be like this. You know, tomorrow things will we'll be picking them up from the floor.
Yeah.
So it happens. It happens.
I come around. Guys, I think this episode needs to be censored because it will blow and blows.
I was representing. I think for every guy, physical attraction is what brings us. But for me, what keeps me is the chemistry.
Yeah.
Is it?
What
So I
keeps me?
I can get attracted, but I may not stay because there's no chemistry.
Yeah.
So what is chemistry?
I want to
If we
ask
could
that.
put it
Yeah.
in a way
Because
we understand what
how I'm
we
feeling
need.
chemistry is just
Sure.
electricity.
I'm gonna Yazin. I don't have the right words, but I'll give you a practical example. You see Montuam.
Thanks.
Oh, Mundra, raining and shining.
You are a cousin. No, I didn't call it that. The chemistry is like when I'm around, when I'm with her, everything else stops. Like I just wanna be there. I don't get tired. The conversations flow. Like we laugh. We laugh so much. Like we have this chemistry that is. We are buddies, man. You know, it's so good that we are even afraid when we go travel with others because we have to contain ourselves and and they don't know us like that. But when we're together, like she can literally say, "Babe, look at that girl. She's hot, ne?
I love that.
When I like it for you," and I'm like, "Yeah, no, it's that one." Right about number two, you know. That's how we,
Love
you know.
that.
And when it's serious stuff, it's serious stuff.
Banter.
When we see now when we're serious for serious. Now we're waking, now we're praying. We've got that's chemistry
Couple
for
goals,
me.
Hashtag.
You know? That's chemistry for me. And another thing, I think it's for a spiritual being like me, chemistry then becomes spirituality. You know? Chemistry becomes spirituality. Your spiritual wokeness, your spiritual alert, your dissection of the weight,
Love
then
it.
becomes chemistry. You know.
Oh man.
It becomes change. When we drove the other time to Kruger, we're talking about literally the Bible from Genesis to Revelation.
Oh man.
Arguing about that's chemistry to me, like you know.
Love that.
Oish. Yeah, shout like that's that.
Alright guys,
Go
this
check
has been
weights.
amazing. We have to kind of, I know we could take this for hours.
Wait, before we close out, we're talking about the dating. What are your thoughts on dating apps? We can't leave without talking about dating apps in the Christian space.
For me, I think they're not genuine. I'm old school. I still believe in the chemistry that, you know, when we talk about it, we'll say, I feel like apps aren't giving us the chemistry that if I see you and we talk, it's, you know, I feel like also they're dangerous because people are also have such hidden agendas with those apps. I've heard so many people being scammed, or he's here for the cookie or whatever. Hey, I don't know, but apparently there are Christian dating apps. Maybe someone who has been on a Christian dating app, they could maybe say, no, they do work, they're fine. I'm old school. I still believe in the face-to-face chemistry.
Can I ask you to what depth? Because there's dating apps where you actually have to go create a site and stuff. But what about social media? So sliding into DMs, does that count for you as well, or is that something that is okay? It's permissible.
I think that one's okay because it's not like I came here to get something. I saw you and I'm watching you. Oh, she preaches. Oh, she likes Jesus. And then I could be like, hey, Sissy, I know I'm sorry to text you like this, but can I have your number? I would like to have a conversation with you. Okay. Whereas the dating app, and they swipe left. Also, another thing with the dating app is it creates the thing of not being content. There's always better. Swipe left. There's always a better. You're always looking for the prettier girl or the sexier guy, and that for me is an issue.
It's the same in the outside world, but I guess how I feel about dating apps is I feel like I'm being shopped like property.
Yes.
Firstly, following is advertising.
Yes.
I am bubbly. I love God. I love this. The marketing is serious. Not that you don't, but I just feel like, and then picture, take the best picture. Make sure the filter is okay. And then, like, it's just a lot of feeling like, how different am I from Woolworths shopping cart? How different am I from the property side? You're looking for a 5-bedroom. So for me, it carries that connotation. But I also don't deem the social media as that as well. So, yeah.
Gents?
I think I'd second what you're saying with regards to dating apps. I feel like, for me, dating, I've been on a dating, okay, so naturally, I'm a very inquisitive person. Like, you know, if someone talks about something and like I want to go check it out, yeah. So I also feel like it's not really genuine, man. I feel like, maybe when I went into the dating app, I feel like it's sort of like a game. I think it's where you find, or maybe the people that I've been matching with, maybe. It's more like this one wants to get something out of you without giving anything. You know, and maybe they thinking you want to get something out of them without them giving anything. You know? So yeah,
the skepticism is so high.
That transaction would as in law. You know, and only because there's also other guys who want to get something out of you without even taking you out on a date. That is why you'll see on a dating app, don't invite me to your place on the first date. I've been there, so I know these things. You know? So that is why. And already, if it's like that, you understand that it's already all messed up now because people have their own ideas of what is supposed to be happening here, and it doesn't. For me, it doesn't work out, man. It doesn't work out. And kudos to those who do find like.
Yes, I know people who have gotten married.
So, and I think it won't work for all of us, unfortunately.
No, dating apps 0. Give me 0 shame. And this, yeah, because I think the idea of having to have options, like you've got options.
Yeah,
you know? And I don't like that. But with social media, I met my person through social media. So I appreciate social media a lot. It's shoot your shot, you know. But I think it's very important that we, as Christians, there are two schools of thoughts. You either believe God will show you your person, you will know exactly who is meant to be yours, or you will find, and through relations, and God will bless that, right? So if you subscribe to the first, which God will show you, and it happens that person, you will see them on dating app, then good luck, do it for you. So if it works for you, it works for you. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. But I think for me, it doesn't feel genuine.
Yeah. We are very much old school here. All right, so as we're closing up today's episode, because wow, hey, shots were fired. Bang, bang, girls. We were cracking bullets here in the studio.
One thing Kamu said that he lived up to is that, gents, he's going to fight for you in the
He did. In closing, I just want us to closing remarks on terms of what do you feel what do you feel must change in the Christian dating pool in this day and age? Just one point where you're like, as in, guys, let's do better in this space. Let's speak directly to the people at home right now. What you guys let's do better in this regard. Just one thing that you feel like, let's do better as Christians in the dating space.
I think the one thing that should change, in the dating pool as Christians is that, my girls must stop giving it up, right? Like, I think for me that's the biggest thing. You understand? Because like we've already alluded to the fact that when things go sour, everything is directed to the guy to say, oh, so now because we've done this, now you don't want me. So if we could just get to a level where, and remember, I'm not saying this because I'm saying it's your fault. That's why it is fun. So I'm saying it's neither here or there, But I'm just saying if girls can also get to a point to say, you know what, umuntu if we ask kwatisa, athi mara kuyafana ngiyokushada mara ngabe siyayenza kuyafana what ungona kwathi. And stick to your guns. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
If you're yeah. But now at the end of the day, you won't walk around church being bitter to say, oh, that guy. Because remember, it's this guy, and then there's another guy's going to come through, and then now before you know it, now it seems like it's you are the problem. Because like, no, but now see your temper, look at you. I'm sure I'm done. You understand what I'm saying? So if there's one thing that I would love, for us to change, is like, girls, please stop giving it up. And I feel like it's going to change the whole dynamic of dating in the church space.
And why are you putting it to the ladies? They must stop giving it up. She was not going to give it up if Bunga, but story for another day.
So I think for me is before you go into a relationship or dating, ask yourself what it means to be a Christian boyfriend, what it means to be a Christian girlfriend. And if you guys don't even work out in that relationship, would you be proud of what you've left behind? Have you ruined someone's future husband? Have you ruined someone's future wife? Like, before going into dating, do it intentionally. Understand what it means to be a Christian boyfriend, a Christian girlfriend, Because there's no blessing in dating.
Only in marriage.
Blessing is in the covenant. So when you date, be cautious of that. Don't ruin someone else's future wife or husband if you guys don't work out. And you also need to continue being brother and sister in Christ after you're dating if it doesn't work out. So it's very important to understand what it means to be a Christian boyfriend.
I also love that. I love both the gents' sentiments, only that I love what you're saying. It's less biased in that let's both carry the weight. Let's be biblical, just do unto others as you want done yourself. If you want a marriage or the moon, you want to be transparent, you don't want someone to play with your heart, don't do the same to the next person. I think let's plain and simple. God said, love others as you love yourself. So would you do half the things to yourself that you do to other people?
100%. What an amazing episode we've had here on In Her Shoes. If you enjoyed, I encourage you to like, share, and subscribe because we have plenty of great conversations that are coming up. Again, thank you for telling me. Thank you, Kamu. You guys were amazing. They were. If you did like, let us know. But from us, it is goodbye. In Her Shoes. Great episode. We love you guys. Goodbye.
Bye.
Cheers.
Cheers.